Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bring Back Focus, where we explore how to do your best work in a world full of noise and distraction. Today, I want to start with a simple question. Why do we have so many tools? Every week, there's a new app that promises to save time, improve your focus, or revolutionize productivity. And every time I see that, there's a part of me that, gets excited. It's almost like a kid in a candy shop. I scroll through the features, I look at the demo, and I think that, maybe this is the one that will help me streamline my work and tasks. And for a few days, it stays that way. Everything feels new, it feels cleaner, it feels better. But very soon the excitement fades. And then I realize I'm back where it all started, juggling multiple apps and getting less and less done. And I, wonder why I feel so scattered. So what has happened is over time, I've realized something that sounds almost ridiculous, but it's true. I think I have too many tools to do my job. There's one for notes, there's one for tasks, there is one for writing, one for team updates. Like there is just too many tools that I have in my digital ecosystem. And now add to that all the AI tools that I have. And the thing is, it feels good. It feels that there's more getting done, but eh, there is less and less control you have if you look at it eventually. Uh, Every tool comes with its own dashboard, with its own workflows, and it just, I realize that I'm spending too much time managing these systems rather than actually doing my work. So this realization struck me very strongly, and it's been there for a while, but it struck me really strongly when I was just sat down to finish one document that I've been procrastinating on. And I opened my Google Docs to start writing, and then I realized that some information is probably in Notion. So I switched there, and then I saw something was there in Slack, and it just it just went into that mode. And I before I realized I had like five tools open, and the document was nowhere near completion. It's just exhausting, and I realized that I do have too many tools and I need to kind of consolidate them into probably one of them or at max two. Because the more tools you have, the more friction you add to getting the work done. And it's just not the clutter that is affected, that is the result, but they also break your attention into like tiny pieces. As I said, every app has its own logic. They have their own notification, they have their own way of working, and you end up task switching. And you know how harmful task switching is for your ability to get things done. You can never get into a focus zone if you have so many tools to juggle between. So what I did was I decided to take a break, and one fine day I decided to delete like almost 50-60% apps on my phone and a lot of tools on my desktop. And what I did was I gave myself just the basic bare minimum tools like Google Docs, Calendar, and Gmail, and maybe one other like Notion. I gave just those few, and then for AI there is ChatGPT and Claude, and I gave them those tools and saw how I would feel in absence of these other tools. It did feel weird. I'm somebody who's used to navigating between all these tools. But after some time, I started feeling much better about it. I realized that my workflow was much simpler. I still got the same things done, and even more, but I wasn't managing all these workflows or tools. So what I realized, what was the reflection was that every new tool that comes gives you a sense of control, but it's an illusion because real control doesn't come from adding these many tools. It really comes from clarity. And clarity comes from minimalism, or having the least amount of inputs to get your work done. So when you're unclear, you keep collecting, and when you're clear, you keep deleting. So you don't need multiple apps to be productive. I think what you need is, you probably need the most basic apps to get your work done. In fact, the lesser the better. So do this thing for me today. Build a list of every tool that you use, and then ask yourself, if I deleted half of these today, that's what I did basically. If you delete half of these today, what would actually break? Once you ask that question and write it down, you'll realize that very little actually breaks, because you do have a lot of tool bloat, um, that you don't even realize. So that's it. The digital minimalism isn't about deleting everything. It's about choosing intentionally. And that's a big thing for me, digital minimalism. How do you intentionally choose the tools? Not because somebody else is posting about it on LinkedIn, or one of your friend told you it's amazing. It's what goals do you have? What do you want? What do you want for them to be achieved? And then go from there. So that's it for today's episode. In the next episode, we'll go into the tactics of how do you do that, get into details, understand some of the key challenges. But for now, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.